Alright, folks. Welcome back, everyone. 皆さん、おかえりなさい。今日は、今日は、523日目です。It is day 523. This is also going to be our final, regular stream of WaniKani. So the consecutive streams are going to end today because today is level 60 day. So we're gonna get into it. We'll talk more after we go through our lessons, how the project is gonna go about later on and how it fits into the whole picture. So let's do our quick so it's more like a victory lap today, despite having more lessons. Now I'll go over how am I gonna treat the rest of the time. Right? It's not gonna be the last WaniKani stream per se, last video. It is going to be the last consecutive things, so the daily routine, the daily routine that is being captured. So last experience related stream. It's gonna go into maintenance following today.
老朽
Okay.
しのぐ
斜面 Oh, whoops. Yeah.
媒介
Oh my goodness.
早乙女 ほ 戯曲
触媒 濁流 教授
鶏卵
傑作
酌量 お腹がすく
寄付
濁す
菅原
おだく
陪審
鋼鉄
不均衡
藩
藩主 丹精
奔走
突版手錠
暁
凹凸町
町大家
奔
奔
放
放
搬
搬
送
送
楽
楽
譜
譜
解剖
から窃
窃
盗
盗
考
考
え
え瑠璃色 bright bright うーんI lost it. Wait. I lost it. uh, the toy with, right?
戯れる
る
へこむ燃え
鶏肉
浮き
浮き
目
目あ、oops
憤慨
憤慨う
媒体
肖像
い
いっ
っぺんに
ぺんに
街
街
並
並
み
み
で
でこ
こぼこ
ぼこ
普及、
大腸筋、
引く、
組む、
し
とやか、
年譜、
ゆ
遊戯、
きうん惜しまない。
とりあえず、
懐中電灯、
容赦、
容赦、
硫酸、遮断機、みずみずしい、
浄瑠璃、
養鶏、
扶助、
扶助、
譜面、
朽ちる。
憤り、
系譜、
錠剤、晩酌、鶏、脊
脊
椎、
椎、
尺、
尺、
宿女、
女、
錠、
御
御社、豪
豪
傑、
傑、
不
不
要、
要、
食卓、
食卓、
知覚、普遍的、
And there it is. Actually, I just want to make sure. We do have all the lessons, so I don't have to worry about defining that. Okay. Okay. So, That's level 60. I'm gonna take a quick break, walk around, switch over to lesson, and it'll be our last set of lessons, right? So I'll be right back. And take a little chill, walk around, stretch a bit. All right. Let's get into our victory lap. This is pretty much our victory lap now. We're gonna cruise across our final lessons, and it does look like it includes all the remaining kanji. It's kind of interesting that one of the older kanjis got moved. So, let's get into our level 60. Alright, so poem. Compose a song that can be also a poem, right? So this is used particularly when referring to waka poetry. Interesting. So what is that? Eika. Eika. Mountain pass. Oh, that's interesting. These are separate things instead of combining them. Hang on. So instead of doing it this way, they kept it separate. Intriguing. Yeah, mountain above and below. Mountain pass. What could this be? It might be kunyomi because it looks very unique. Otherwise, I would say ka. Ka or sun. Nope, it's kunyomi. Okay. So we have Toke. I mean, To and Ke. That works up. Tokyo and Gecko. Checks out. Actually, that works fine with me. Deep feeling. Well, the sigh thing has an utterance of feelings, right? Deeper feeling. Not sure about the compose part. This word can be used for a range of deep feelings, good or bad. Can be used for expression of those feelings. Oh, to compose. Okay. So what is that? Eitan. Alright. I'm guessing that's Azusa. Oh, wait. Asusagawa. Probably.
Azusagawa.
Asusagawa. Okay. Asusagawa. Okay. Proper noun. Azusa is also the noun for the Japanese birch, so not too much. Oh, underworld as opposed to dim or dark. I don't think we have a combination for this here. This looks like a very characteristic character. We got this by coincidence on review. Ming. Let's go with, there is Doku down here. Up here is like Tan. Let's just go with An. Me. Really, the opposite. Dang. Of all the things. Alright, Ming is pretty close though. Myo and Mei, okay. It's dark in May, I suppose. The underworld creatures must be out about because it's May. Alright. We got the forehead. And the sun. I think of the bottom as 6, so we're just gonna do 6. Okay. 6 foreheads under the sun, I suppose.
Eika.
Underworld is so weird.
Eitan.
Oh, oops.
Azusagawa.
Alright. Sada. Oh, interesting. Spread out. Okay. Sand spread out. I see. Oh, that's just Sa, not Puka.
さら
Sada. Okay. Sada's fine. Die. Where do we get die from? What does that look like? The way of... Huh. Oh no. Oh no, wait. Hold up. Oh, this is, sure. Sure, for pass away, I see. Sure. I was thinking of chai, which is to take apart. That's, okay, sure. What could this be? E. Se. I don't know how strong Se is. One. Setsu. Setsu is what? Okay. I mean, I'm okay with that. We're just gonna take apart the scooter after it died by hacking it apart with the Se. That's okay. We're good. Death anniversary. Wow. That is not how I was expecting that to be used. You often see this used with a number before. Oh, what is that? Aiki. Indicating a certain anniversary. How you actually start counting your Aiki starting with the first period of mourning around the time of a person's death. Oh.
回帰
Aiki. Is this strong enough to hold the key? I doubt it.
木
Oh! I'm surprised. Alright. Cool. Hide. Oh. Wow. Knee. Now, this thing in the middle, the right flower actually has another reed attached to it. Don't remember. Is it sui? Toku. I don't know if I remembered it as toku. Or it could have been sa. Heck, it was he. Waka, is that? Yeah, it's Jaku. Dang. You are one weird little guy. Alright. Cage full of followers on the right. You hide in a cage full of followers? Fair enough. And then it's Toku. Okay. Okay.
Kaiki. Sara.
I understand. Oops.
Ki.
Okay. Taboo. Well, why have I seen Taboo already? Alright, well, what is that?
近
Kinky.
畿
Oh, yes, I have seen Tofu already in Kink. Yeah. Okay. Okay. First anniversary. Wow, they're using circumference instead. Like one lap around.
一周期
Ishuki. Fair enough. Oh, Widow? Ooh, this one is exactly as weird as it looks. It's been a while since I've seen Widow. What was that? Gua. Gua, let's see. No, still look as weird as usual. It's probably a Kunyomi. Oh no, it's Ka. Neat. Okay. Jump in the car. Oh boy. Okay. Unpleasant. What part of you is unpleasant? I guess. I guess something morning could be unpleasant. So do we switch this up or is it
忌
Akimawashi?
まわしい
Iwamashi. Dang it, I got you. East Asia. Okay. Is Onyomi. So
東
Oa
亜
Oa. Okay.
近畿
Oops. All I got is disgusting.
東亜 一周期
忌まわしい
All right, let's see how many items we have for our last full level. 119. Wasn't too bad. Got some. Gotta keep consistent here. Finish strong. Contempt. Disdain plus scorn at the same time. Contempt is good. Formal word, mainly used in writing that describes words, tones, or behavior which is contemptuous and alright. So we got bubetsu. To despise. That's no boo. I'm gonna say okoru.
侮る
Anadoru. Why do I have another anado? Is there another anado? So let's stay vigilant here. How does this work? Leader, every, who, do, I. Okie dokie. Handle it is. Oh, there's diarrhea. That is not the same diarrhea though. Interesting. I was thinking Sha, not Lee. Yeah. Do I have an example? Is this constipation? No. It's entirely unique. They swapped it up. Okay. It still looks like a D though. So maybe it's a D. Okay, some grains make you sick. It feels like a knife stabbing your stomach. Okay. It's a D. Okay. Okay. Insults. Bujoku. Bujoku. I haven't seen Joku in a while. Subservient. Ooh. Lowly and then yield to a lowly yield. Subservient. Abject. I haven't used abject in. What's that?
Hikutsu.
Hikutsu. Hikutsu. Oh yeah, hikutsu. That's yield.
Anadoru.
Diarrhea is hard to spell.
Bubetsu.
Hikutsu.
What's another way to say despise? Like really, it's like contempt. Disdain. Ooh, disdain is. And then. How do you like despise and demean something? Humiliate? I have no idea what word they decide to insult. Okay. Sure. There are so many words that can elicit. Oops. Spelling. What?
Bujoku.
Oh, typo. Okay. Yeah, mean. To be mean to someone. So, or cowardly, or base. What? Interesting. I kind of thought it would go the other way. What was inferior?
Hiretsu.
Hiretsu. Oh yeah, Hiretsu. Scrutiny. Recital and flavor. Oh no. Okay, that's a rough one. That's a really rough one. What's that? Ginmi.
Ginmi.
Ginmi. Pit? I can get behind pit. Hung? What is this thing? How many things do we have with that? Just kan. Kan might work. Cole. You hecking Cole. Alright, fine. How strong is coal? Coal is pretty strong, huh? No, it's okay. Yeah, coal is pretty strong for the turntable thing. To endure? Okay. So, koraeru. Aeru. Marriage. Oh, no, oh yeah, the other marriage.
婚姻
Okay. Okay.
吟味 比列
How do we lower the other person? I don't know. Oh, being mean. Or marriage. That's being pedantic.
Konyin.
こらえる
Okay. Stationed. Yeah. Reside in the barracks or a position. Occupancy. Assist you.
駐屯
Chuton. Chu, not Ju. Chuton.
Misaki.
Okay. Means Cape, which is a piece of land jutting out. Yeah. While Misaki is mostly used in place names and compound. Maybe used as dental. I see. Indigo. Oh, so slightly shift from blue. Interesting. Is this gonna be kunyomi or is it like kan situation? Ai. Alright. It's a kunyomi. Loftiness. Ooh. Lofty as in like nobility, loftiness. So worship and high status.
Tsuko.
And then we have the worship. Of course. What was this? Bai?
崇拝
Okay. Okay. Whoops.
駐屯
Misaki. 通行
崇拝
Auspicious event. That makes sense. It's very formal use to refer to an auspicious such as a wedding. Yeah, fair enough.
刑事
KG is good. That looks like Benkei. Is this a place? Oh, a figure. Hercules or Achilles. Interesting.
弁慶
Benkei. As opposed to Benkei. Benkei. Shore. Another geographical feature. It's probably Kunyomi. I don't think this lines up with shore. Does it? Oh, the side. Oh yeah. Pun can work in shores, like the lakeside and riverside. That makes sense. After the rice paddy is always shore. This is gonna be like Han or it's probably Han. Okay. Congratulations! Oh, double congratulate or celebrate.
慶祝
Keishiku. I was gonna say kyo. That's the something else. Keishiku. Congratulations and condolences. Yeah. That's congratulations and condolences.
傾聴
Alright. Oops. I meant to type Han, not Kan.
掲示 傾聴
慶祝
弁慶
Unskillful. Well, that's another way to say okay, so immature and clumsy. What is it? Chi? Oh,
季
chisetsu.
節
That's okay. Imitation. Oh, double imitation.
模擬
Mogi. Shimasen song. Oh, interesting. That's a oh no, Shamisen Shimasen. Shamisen song. Interesting. Is that a ba? A bo? Bo? No. Is it a I unsure. It's definitely an utterance of some sort. Bei, perhaps? Bei. Yeah, bei is a grammar thing. Chinese. So, it still could be... What is the shellfish thing? Oh no, uta? Oh, it just goes out with uta? Still songs. Alright. I got you. I can work with that. Disguise. Makes sense. Imitate an entire.
偽装
Lawyer. Wow. Well, that's an interesting way.
放送
Also. Why is this unexpected, Rendaku? Okay. I didn't see that. Interesting. Different way to say lawyer. How do you say immature and what is that? Just unskillful? Immature still works. Okay.
模擬
放送
Hmm.
偽装
Oh, I lost it. Dang it. Oh.
施設
Neglecting to contact with an honorific. Or maybe not. Gomu. Oh, Gomenis. Oh, wait. Go. Sata? Or it could be Shatai. No, yeah, it could be a
ご
lot.
無沙汰
Okay, Gobusata is fine. Took all the primary reads. Vagrancy. Vagrancy? Yeah, okay, vagrancy. That type of vagrancy. Okay. Yeah.
流浪
Doodle. It's shortened, but that's fine. Okay. Doodle. Torture. Well, now. I don't have a point of reference for that. Hmm. Oh, we have. Oh. What happens when you add a finger to. I should have a reference to this. I should. Oh, this is cow for flog. I guess that's torture too. Cole. Go. Alright. Okay. Okay. Waste. Wander and expense. That's fair enough.
浪費
Wandering, yeah.
放浪
Photo.
流浪 ご無沙汰
浪費
放浪
Okay. There's a Ronin off the roll as well. In modern Japanese, Ronin refers to a student who failed their university entrance exams and are waiting for the next chance. Oh.
浪人
Ronin. Okay. Ronin. Without shortening. Okay. Ronin. Vagrant. Okay. A bum is certainly another way to look at that. This word has a negative connotation, so you wouldn't use it for someone who's just homeless unless you really mean okay. What is that then?
不老者
Okay. It already has fu. I'm not sure why that doesn't have fu yet, but okay. Valley. Ooh, a different valley instead of Tani. What in the world? I think this is gonna be Kunyomi. Recognize. I don't think this stands for any valley that I'm aware of. No, sir. That is one unique looking one. Can it be Tani? Oh, give me Tani. Okay. It has an Onyomi? Where's this valley coming from? Maybe the bottom right is simplified? Or like it's changed. Do I have anything that matches up with valley? Not that. Huh. Oh. Creek kinda matches up with valley. Wait, this is K? I don't know if... Yeah, that one... I don't know if that simplifies to that or not. If they took that... Closest thing I can think of is... this one. That's too far away. Alright, well... What do we have? Husband, Cleats, and Nami. Okay, alright. Lacquer, standing alone. Can it just be Shitsu, or is it just gonna go straight to Kunyomi?
漆
Urushi. Changing up the mnemonic again. It's not great. Okay, so... let's just say... spray... at... the... food to the lacquer. Not the greatest. It's fine. Lacquer where?
漆器
Alright.
浪人 不老者漆器
Hmm.
漆
I don't remember what this is. Was it a geographical feature? Not cape. No. A valley. Jet black. Hmm. Hmm.
漆黒
Shikoku. Shikoku. It could have been two different things. Okay. Shikoku is okay. Immense. Yep. That's immense, alright.
甚大
Okay. Bargain? Hmm. How does that line up with a bargain? Oh, you know. So it's in the Lien category, right? Or it's a pivot to. No. I don't know if I. Huh. Oh, yeah, it is honest. I'm guessing it's the cheap honest. Like a cheap sell honest. That's why they got what bargain. And what is that? Gen. Then. Okay. Alright. Yeah, low price. Honest price. Got it. Very. Eee. I don't imagine it's still keeping its bean.
甚だ
Anahada. Why? A very flowery language. I'll go with it. Okay. Friendship. Yeah. Yeah. Is that Keen or Shin?
親睦
漆黒
甚大 親睦
Sure.
甚だ
Brief? Dark. So what? How do you get that? Oh, I see.
暗礁
Unsure. Atoll? Oh no, it's another geographical feature. Don't change it up though, right? You're not gonna change it up. You're gonna stay kansho.
干渉
Alright, cool. No weirdness going on. Humble. Well, this is going to be interesting. This character looks like it changed. What did it change to? Or change from? What do you look like? Really not that. It could be done. No. Humble. Definitely more of a Japanese grammar twist. Alright, well, we got humble and discreet. Keen. Oh, careful. Jing. That's probably Jing. Happy New Year. Oh, goodness. I think that's Jing. Alright. Welp. Alright, Welp. Reef. Another reef. Now we have the reef. The rocks of the reef. That's not Seki, right? Is that Seki? No.
岩
No,
礁
Gansho.
岩礁
Root of evil. Fair enough.
禍根
Akon. Alright.
暗礁 干渉 禍根 岩礁
Alright. Damage. War damage. Yeah, okay. Ravage of the war. Okay.
戦
Think
火
critical condition. Deliberate danger. Critical condition. Interesting. Critical illness. Okay.
秘匿
Toku is a little weird. A little weak. Ugly. Ooh, Cho. What are the chances this is just Cho? Oh, it could be Ki or Ma. Shoo. Alright. Alright. The spin. Can we get a Mawagu or something? Something like familiar? This is a kunyomi.
紡ぐ
Tsumugu. Yikes. Alright, well. Silk. Oh. Okay. Alright. The MAKU it is. Spinning. Alright. Spinning an achievement. Wait, what type of spinning is this? What? Okay, to achieve a spinning. Alright. Is a technical term that specifically refers to the process of spinning fibers. Oh. What is that though?
紡績
Bolseki. No. Bolseki. Yep. Alright. Okie
既
dokie.
得
Okay.
« 戦果
紡ぐ
紡績
Hmm. Okay. Excuse me. After this, I'm going to take a quick intermediate break because we're about halfway through our lesson Q. Spinning and weaving. Yep. That is spinning and weaving.
紡織
Bolshoku. Oh, they changed it up. Wasn't this like shiki or something? Okay, shoku.
紡織
Do you look like shoku? Not particularly. Will be okay. Guts means guts. It's just like the English word guts. Yeah. Okay. What are the chances it's gonna be ton?
単
Nice. Nice. All right. Grid. I thought this was something else. Something, not grid. This is rise in Chinese, sheng, but it was a grid. Was it related? Not really. Measure. Interesting. Yeah, that's a 20 slides. Mine's like a grid. Shin. Mazu. Masu. Masu. Okay. How is this being used? Oh, interesting. Plot. Plot. Re? Is that re? Re-tan. Plot?
魂胆
Kontan. Kontan. Not re-tan. Kontan. The other spirit. Or soul.
魂胆
Kontan. A plot. Alright. Okay. Interesting.
魂胆
As a negative connotation. Gallstones? Well, yeah.
胆石
Anseki. Alright.
« 紡織
胆
魂胆
Excuse me.
胆石
Then help. Alright. So we're halfway through our lesson queue. I'm gonna take a quick break and a quick bathroom break, walk around a little bit, and I'll be back for the second half. Alright. Second half. Bold? Yeah, that is some big guts. Big guts. We're gonna do
Daitan.
Daitan. Discouragement. The falling of a guts, yeah.
落胆
Rakudan. Okay. Martyr. Interesting. Martyr. How do we pivot from martyr? Oh, that's right. Shin. Or martyr. To die for. What is that? Jun? Jun. Alright, fair enough. Scorn. Ooh, lightweight and scorn? It's used when you look down. Oh, like belittling someone. Lightweight. What is that? Kaibetsu?
軽蔑
Keibetsu, not kaibetsu. Ke! Wait. Was this, always Ke? Oh. Dang it. I went off Kai because it's suspicious. Oh, but there's also K for diameter. Okay. K actually ended up winning out.
軽蔑
Okay. Alrighty. To compose. It's not a. Let's go with. Ooh, you say. Akamu.
読む
Yomu. Alright, we have word. Eternity. Go. Move. Compose. Okay. Not the greatest. Good enough though.
大胆
落胆
I don't know how to write. How do you discourage something? Okay. Discouragement. Deterrence should have been on that list. Possibly. I guess it's a little aggressive.
「軽蔑 読む
Demotion. That's interesting. Left is considered demotion as opposed to be right? Hmm. Okay.
左遷
Alright. Move the capital. Interesting. Transition metropolis.
銭湯
Ento. Or metropolis. Annoy. I don't know if I get annoyed from this. Do I? Oh, it's like, oh, it's probably annoyed. Yeah, that is annoyed. This is fun, right? What does that look like? Oh, it's fun. Hmm. Han. Of course it's Han. Alright. Or Ban, sure. Change. Yeah. Refers to historical long duration.
変遷
Vincent. Dairy farming. Yeah, I got you.
酪農
Akuno.
銭湯
左遷
That should be fine.
「変遷」
酪農
Casting. Yep. Yep.
鋳造
Sensor. Censure. 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 Yeah, censure. Oh, is it that la? No, it's not la. Rain it. Sure. I don't think I have a combination like. Oh, all right. New one. What do you look like though? You kind of look like a Kai or a guy situation. It could end up being weird, like a Cole. Guy? All right, I'll take guy. Okay. Deserted. Ooh. Leisure and scatter. Interesting. Inactive, leisure, quiet, and deserted. Oh, deserted in the sense of I see. Unsun.
換算
Quiet, yeah.
完成
Unsaid. Article. Yo, what? This the soldier. Is this the funds? This is probably the funds. Article. How does article and funds line up? Sincerity. Oof, that's too far. Alright. Interesting. Alright. So what do we got for you then? What is that? Quan. What do you look like? Khan. It's Khan. Alright. Alright. Rep. I don't quite remember. Sun, right. Just scatter. Oops.
鋳造
換算 感性
Oh, they wanted it as a gerund. That's fine. Sure. Female. We already had our primary read is this is often written in katakana, right?
メス
Mesu. It's fine. Jetty. Jetty. What the jetty leading straight to it? Using as a jetty? What is a hold up. Is a man-made structure that projects from the shore into a body of water. Oh, wow. Well, I learned something today. Kunyomi. Probably, right? Kunyomi. Unless it's like sun or something. Zan. Zan, okay. Zan and then, alright. Fair enough. It's the right radical. Interesting. Not sure if I remember this being like this is a reduction. It's more complicated. Traditional. I'm gonna say. Oh no. No. Not that. Not that. Something related to. Is it a handsaw? Is that? No, no, no. Oh, I don't know you. I'll have to come back to the. All right. Okay. Female flower. Okay. Mesubana?
雌花
Mebana. Alright, so we just shorten. Okay. Sure. We drink together. Yeah? So, Kuni.
組み交わす
I don't have a ka for this yet. Okay. Room. That is a new combination. I don't think I've seen that. Sure. So what would this end up sounding like? I mean, it'd be convenient if it was fu or something like that. There's not really much to go on here. Setsu. Uko? Wow. That's a tough one. Okay. Okay.
Mesu.
雌花
組み交わす
Okay. To compose. Wait. Oh. I see. Well, what are the chances that they use the same read and they change up the ending for the wow, they're both transitive and intransitive. This particular verb is used in relation to poetry. Okay. Same read
歌
though?
う
Utau. Oh no, it's not. Ooh, oh, okay. Oh no, I mean that's
Utau.
fine. Utau is fine. Okay, I'm okay with this. Yearn for. Oh. Tian. That doesn't seem right. Right? No, I'm missing. No. We're missing the above thing. Yearn for. The closest I can think of when it comes to yearn for. Dian. Form of Dian. I don't know if go with not too many of the pump. Oh, moo. Oh boy. To adore, yeah, to admire. Okay, it could still be moo, like mo, ball. But then somehow I feel like it could be like hen or something. Ah, ball. Okay, it's ball. Okay, it says ball. Sorry, I freaked out a little bit because of the greenhouse ball. Ball is very strong. Yearn for Bobo. Okay. Or yearn to use a bowl. Yeah. Anatomy. Yeah, okay. It's weird that they put autopsy next to it, but that's okay.
解剖学
Gaku. Alright. Oops. Sailboats. Yep. Oh, that particular boat. Interesting.
反戦
Hansen. Onyomi is the okay. Hansen is the standard read, and then there's Obune. On the other hand, has a softer, more traditional. Okay. Go with Hansen. Wit. Wit. Yeah. Or like cease. Something to cease. You're net, but you have the ability to quit. Probably playing along and leave anytime. No. E. E. How'd you get a he? Alright, sure. Alright. Wait. Okay.
解剖学
歌う
反戦
Mast. Yeah, okay. A pillar and a sail. Alright, I got you. Ooh, the pillar. We're gonna go with two, right?
小柱
Nope. So we're using the kunyomi, both. So that's fine. Obashira is okay. Double kuns. Fair enough. Correct. Oh, Jiao. Jiao is kind of weak. Right? Ko, probably. Kyo. Yeah. I'll give you Kyo because of the right. Yeah. Kyo. Would have preferred, like, it's not that great. Alright, fine. The correct. What was the right? I use bridge. I use. What did these guys use? Okay. So we got the tower, right? The sky. Okay. Another orchestra. Oh, this must be the full phrase, and the other one was possibly. Angen, gakuin,
単元楽団
gakudan, not in. I was thinking of the other group. Kangen gakudan. Okay, fair enough. Deep emotions, the double deep, or ooh. Okay. Yeah, strong feelings. How should I not even think of a quantity? Oh, unable to quantify. That's interesting.
考え
Kankai
無料
Murio. Certain. Buy. Oh. If you. Oh, not more. Sing. Oh. Inspire. Alright. Certain. Okay.
"小柱
Let's not be pedantic here. I lost it.
考え無料 還元楽団
Deeply moving. Ooh. Okay. I guess you got two things put together, and there's no like random kunyomi shenanigans here.
感慨深い
Bukai. Okay. Unkai bukai. Alright. I got you. This is a combination of Jukuko and yeah. Unkai bukai. Alright. Secrete. Oh. Is this gonna be a Mitsu? It's either gonna be a he or a Mitsu. He? Okay. And Hitsu? Okay. Tease. Aku. Oh, Akuki. Akuki.
いたずら
Itazura. Oh man, it's an exception. Well, we have Ita, that's fine, and then Zura is not that work. Zura is not working. So let's find this way. We'll go with like bad play. Zura is Azura. Play flirt. To play with, so it's just the noun version. Come to me. Then help. What is that? Awamure.
戯れ
Okay. Gradually. Yikes. Wait. Oh, Jiao. Oh, 不是 Jiao. Dang it. Let's compare. Oh, goodness. It is gradually. Wait. Oh, it's Jian, not Jiao. Jian. Wrong location. Han, Zan. Oh, it's Kunyomi. Yoya, Yaya. What? Alright. Hang on. We still have the R thing, right? Where is it? Yeah, Zan is the slice, right? I'm gonna use
いたずら
Oh, I missed the E.
感慨深い
戯れ
I don't remember what this is. Deeply okay. Alright. I missed the E. Alright. Cigarette butt. Well, there's the husk, and then there's the suck. That's probably the suck in su. So, 吸い殻.
吸い殻
吸い殻. Yeah. Okay. Seaweed. Yeah, that's seaweed, alright. Could be soul. Soul would be my guess. It could be kunyomi though. Oh wait. No, that can't be nori, is it? No, not nori. It could be. So, okay. Wait. Mo. It's Mo. I'm like, the lineup, but so it's okay. It just looks like so I think we're okay with that. All right. Become muddy. I imagine this is the intransitive. So nigoru.
濁る
Okay. Sulfur. Oh, yellow sulfur. Okay. What, the yellow?
硫黄
Real. Ah. Okay, well that sucks. Yo, okay. I think we're just gonna go with the Eagle King is yellow. Sulfur. King. Like silver. Okay. Okay. Reckless. Reckless. I am unsure how that becomes reckless. It's because that combination does not exist. Alright. Nothing really close either. Alright, reckless. So, female death, huh? Death woman, reckless. Has a feeling of Sinestra at this point. Catholic. Give me ball for 1,000. Heckin', okay, there is ball, but it's mall as the guy from on. Okay. Goodness gracious. Oops. Buddy. I no. Oh no, so you gotta type.
Yo.
吸い殻 濁る
Okay. Relentlessly. So this is without pardon. So spare no, like just relentlessly so without any excuses. Mercilessly. Yeah. No mercy, no excuse. Okay. This is basically the negative adverbial form next to a non-adjective. So yo
容赦なく
yoshanaku. Okay. Barbarian. Ooh. Huh. Wait. Was that actually barbarian? Uh there is a barbarian like this, but no. No. This is he's one. Interesting. Insecting again. Let's go with this might be a kunyomi. Otherwise. Key. Ban. Okay. I don't remember what was it. Oh yeah, I was way off the mark. That's all over the place. Alright, Ban it is. Oh, we have a Ken coming up. To scorn. Did I already use this in a... I feel like we do have something. We do have a kunyomi. I don't remember.
蔑む
Nope. Agesumu. Just gonna start flipping some tables. Okay. So what do we have? Flower, net, A9. Born. Nope. Screwed up both betsu. Yes. Scorn. I have no idea. I guess it is. Alright. Head of the squad. Neck of the squad is a very formal word to refer to someone in a top role. Yeah. Bishop Prime Minister. So what do we got? Boban.
主犯
Shuhan. Heck. You learned the onimi. Oh, I did. Dang it. Yeah, that is rough. Oof. Body part still rears his head beforehand. Alright, Bushu. That's the only time we had the... Oh, no. We do have Shushol. Actually, Shushol works.
Shuhan
Nodendaku. Okay. Thrifty. I mean, this is obviously Ken, right? Hero Squid tells all. Be thrifty, frugal. Oh, where does this lie? The right is the right is simplified. I don't remember what it is. Or it's a different modified. It'll be tough figuring out which one it is. Jian. It might be a Jian. Or is it a... I gleam, thrifty, economical? Like a Sheng. I don't think so. No. Alright, we'll just go with Ken for now. Thrifty squid? It's Ken. It's mixed with Yaku. Not that I'm aware of. Okay. I lost it. Dang it. I lost it almost immediately when I was surprised by... all I got is frugal. Stick with frugal for now.
Sagesumu 容赦なく
主犯
Our last set. Excuse me? Moshi moshi. Ne? Moshi moshi?
申し
Moshi moshi. Whoa, you would encounter moshi moshi in dialogues said in older times, unlike its modern shortened version, moshi moshi. Okay. I'm like, whoa. Okay. You need to calm down.
申し
Okay. Leader. Another leader. How does this leader work? Oh, this is the... Oh, man. This one's tough. Chinese doesn't work either. The one with the sleeves. Yeah, the Boston sheet. This is a very formal... Okay, political context. I'm not surprised. what is that? How do we get this? Oh man, it can be so weird because of... It could be like sore, like naga sore, or naga, wait,
領収
oh no, it just goes straight to shu. Wait, am I crazy? It's like, sode, right? Yeah, shu, okay. And that does look like shu. Wait, hold up. No, it's more like chew. Dang you. It sounds like, I mean, it sounds like it should be shoe or show.
領収
Yo, shoe. Alright. Yo, shoe it is. Inner shoes. I got you. Ripples. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about ripples. I thought it was going to be... I don't think there is... I'm not sure if I have a point of reference. Pretty sure this is you. Nope, I got nothing. Ripples. Bang. End with a banger. Alright, so, I mean, there's water. There's some scooter and car. All sorts of way creating ripples. Yeesh. Yeesh. What could this be? Den? Give me den. Alright, cool. It's the den with water. So, ripples. I guess. Bow? Oh, Kalto. Yeah, this is Kalto. Of course it's Kalto. I mean, Koto. Kolto. Kolto is Kolto. Which is like... And then I'm saying Kalto because of... Very similar. Ancient. Refers to, yeah, the Chinese custom of kneeling and touching your head to the ground. Kalto.
口頭
Koto makes sense. Sounds like Koto. Alright, cool. What a way to end. Koto. Alright.
領収
Eh.
申し申し口頭
Eh. Well, there we are. Well, tomorrow's a big day, but you're not gonna see that. Alright. So, one last final time, right? Kind of interesting that Shoal got moved. Or Shoal got moved from Manor. Okay. Move forward. Alright. Last one for the recording. Alright, let's go over our definitions. Dim is fine. I want to say it's martyr. No, and that's not martyr. Or die. It's just die. Hide. Widow. Wow, these are pretty. Wow, 4 negative words. That's a weird one. Oh no. Diarrhea right after. I don't know how to spell diarrhea. Not how you spell diarrhea. It. What the? Okay, well this is indigo. Indigo is pretty neutral. Okay. How do we half the field? What is that? You take half the field. What are we doing in half the field? Side. Sure. This isn't obviously, it's something else. No fish. No fish in mouth. Not obvious. No, this is special. Shamisen, so. Torture. What's special too? It's a feature. It's not sure. Geographical feature. It's not a jetty. Jetty is coming up. It's not a cliff. The valley. Could this be Xia? It could be Xia. Huh. Okay. I only got honest here. Bargain. The boot. Careful, diligent, something like that, right? Being careful. I think it's careful, or it's kind of like careful, like diligent maybe, or a discreet. Oh, humble. But in a it's discreet. Ugly. Grid. Martyr. Annoy. Censor. Censure. Article. Jetty. Correct. Wait. No, that's not correct. That's groom. Yearn for. One of it is leave, quit. This is correct. Certain. Secrete. Gradually. Seaweed. Reckless. barbarian. Banner. That's actually been moved. Yikes. Triple. Oh, what does a squid want in the leader? Squid and leader. Frugal. Oh, thrifty. Alright, Monix. What do we got for the Monix? This is gonna be tough for the Monix. What was that? Like the six suns, forehead, something about like demons, or no, May. This is May. Die. Are we doing the slice? Scooter? No, the scooter. And take a saber. Hide was a box, a cage con. Or is it king? Con. Eh? Con? No, it's someone else. There's no way that's con. God, MAKU. Widow. R. Nope. Yes. No. Yes. This. Read. Pit. Guess we go with coal, right? Or is it goal? Coal. Yes, it's coal. Indigo. I don't remember if we're going with Khan or Han here. Probably Khan. No. This is Kunyomi. Indigo is Kunyomi. Went with love. Sure. Guy? No, this is fun. Uta? Do we just straight up go to Uta? Or the Chinese? Yeah. Let's just. Orchard. Kyoto. Or is it Ko? Oh no. It's Go, right? It's Go, right? Yeah. Valley. Asen. K. Cake. Bargain. Rental. Humble. This is Khan. Yeah, right? Oh no. I don't think so. It's King. Yeah, it's King. I keep going back to con, I think I had to rethink every single con so far. Ugly. Shoot. Rid. Something about yeah, nope. This is ma plus plus mu? Ma no, su. Yeah, I forget this is called. Martyr. June. Annoy. Fire. I want to say it's still Han. Other than that, it could be Ban. No, I think it's Han. Censure. Someone took the sword and censured the guy. Article. Article's gotta be Khan, right? Are you Khan? Khan, yeah, you're Khan. I think I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think. Jetty. Santa. Room. This is special, like, we have a moose and oh yeah, yearn for something about greenhouse, flowers, small drop. This is a bow. Okay. Quit. It's not that. Oh, it's heat. Correct. Wait, I think I might have gotten two things mixed up. I already have a kill. Were there two kills? Where's the other kill at? Did I decide otherwise? Okay, good. I think this is kill. Oh, right? Can't think of anything else that this would match to. Okay. What is the next? Certain. Bowl. Eat. Fragile. So we do some slicing and dicing. Spray. Oh, this is like yogurt. Yogurt plus. Yeah. Field. Seaweed. Soul. Reckless. Bow. Barbarian ban. This is Toga. And Ripple is still. Okay. Neat. Go over our reads here. Me, dim, se, die, oop, I, ah, widow, the, diarrhea, ko, it, I think that's good to go. Unsure. I think uta is shamisen song in Yomi. Goal torture. K Valley. Ren bargain. In humble. True. Ugly. Masu. I think Masu is got to be Yomi. Okay, and then in martyr, annoy, guy, censure, article, Yeti, Muko, as groom, or yearn for, eat, wit. Actually, he, I am unsure if he is probably on you. Oh, correct. Oh. Oh. Certain. Yeah, okay. He secretes. Okay. Yoya. Gradually. So. Seaweed, more reckless. On barbarian. Short manner. Ken thrifty, and then Ripple. Alright. Finally reached it. So officially we have seen every kanji. And I believe there might be like 2101 kanji or something like that. 2101. I didn't actually do the official numbers. And there was an easy way to see this, but it doesn't account for certain things. So I think we are at 21 pass, 2100 pass. I could do some quick maths, but I don't think that's I'll come back to that at some point. So this is our last daily experience thing. This is the mark of the end of a journey, right? To celebrate, let's do some recording thing. Careful for flashbang because I'm gonna use the WaniKani stats.com, right? So it's completely in a white background, so careful of the eyes. I'm gonna bring, here we go. Yes, it is very, very bright. Okay, so we are level 60. There are no more leveling ups, right? So let's go look and celebrate for a little bit. This is as excited as I'm gonna get, my friends. When you're doing something for such a long time, right? Like when you're doing it for quite some time, usually the the excitement is not quite the same. Why is this so large? Okay. So, level 60, right? This is where we do the hooray. How do you spell hooray? Hooray celebration. And this is how I'm gonna do the celebration. What is wrong with the way this, right? So, right, celebration. I'm not gonna obviously post this on the WaniKani forums or something like that. I'd like to do it within the privacy of my own circles creations. So celebration, array 60, and yeah, the typical. So to say some of these things, let's reflect upon some of these things. So typical level up. The typical level up is actually 11 days. And then from this is typically from level 1 to 43 to 42. Technically it's 43 is when we level into it, but 42, right? And then when we got to 43 through 60, that ended up becoming a 5 days average, which will be seen in a bit. So when you put these together, you get approximately 10 days. That's where we're getting the 10 days from. And then obviously this is from today, the very last one. And this says the start date is December 29th. It's technically the start date is the 1st of January. The reason why it was September 29th is because I had to set up my accounts. And we bought the lifetime. I was already aware there was a lifetime sub at a discount. So hence it registered 2 days before, right? December. And then we set everything up and we started on the 1st. So this actually takes into account, like, so there is some wiggle room in plus or minus 2 days. And also of this from 25 to on, there was a minus 5 days because I was away for Otakon for 2025. By coincidence, next month is Otakon 2026, so I'll be away for that. Not that it's gonna be relevant for WaniKani. And this number, because of this, how this site works, I don't think this number is accurate anymore. There are over 2,100. However, roughly 2,100. And then obviously, hey, how many reviews did we do? That's kind of neat, right? And then I already talked about how we kind of don't use this stuff anymore. We did a non-SRS approach based on mistakes, right? So no mistakes in the sense that it's self-correcting. We are self-correcting for this. Hence these numbers are they're numbers, right? They're basically numbers. Now let's get into the item that is fun to watch, which is we don't have to really go into charts and stuff, but let's go here. According to the WaniKani stats site, at least the coverage of the characters since they've been filling in these things, about 80% into N1, and then we have the N5 to N2 exposure, right? This is only the exposure. I would say about 80 to 90% is the retention rate. So of all of this, 80 to 90% I can probably recognize and talk about and whatnot. It requires practice, more practice, and more practice, and application, analyzing, which is what we're moving to Boom Pro. right? Pro for that type of thing. So, some interesting charts in here would be something whoever made this originally had some like reading frequencies, like percentages on like particular sites. I do look at the NHK site quite a bit. In fact, actually, you can read most of YouTube comments. So outside of this, I typically read YouTube comments and Japanese YouTube comments. So a lot of the media that I actually, so to add, right? So a lot of the media that I watch, right? There are official sites for the content, like video games and streaming networks like TV shows and series. They have analogous Japanese channels, which Japanese people type the commentary there. So the vast majority of my reading and stuff, or translating and whatnot, comes from like forums and stuff that are very appropriate to me. So not necessarily any of these things. Like I don't read a lot of Wikipedia. I actually don't use Wikipedia all that much. And I don't use Twitter. However, NHK, the easy site is fair game. Now, when it comes to items, we don't really need to know that. We already know it from WaniKani. Now, and then, of course, the customary thing that must be shown is the level chart. So, this would be the last screen for WaniKani for a while. So as you can see, there's this right here. This is setting up. So we had 2 days of setting up to figure out what to do, right? So there was a overlap. The reason why this is higher is because on this day, I had a introduction. So this is the opening opinions, which you can go see if you're curious. Opening opinions. It took about 3 hours-ish. So opening opinions is when I try to reveal my thought process and stuff. This was the transition from Duolingo Japanese and my life's experience, right? My life XP and moving into WaniKani. So that's where I talked about here. So then it overlapped on a next day cycle, and that's what we get, this little weird thing. Then everything else is constant, right? This is constant. However, the time frame is not. Here, from these moments, these are long sessions, like longer. Like on average, they were like 2 hours longer. And then here, this is Otakon 2025. So I took 5 days, and then we put it on vacation mode. Then here to here, this is when now we have less hours. So where we make up for the hours, basically. So this is my steady state, which is more like at the high point, we have anywhere from like 15 minutes, right, to the high point of 2 to 3 hours total. Meanwhile, these could have ranged to the total of 5 to 6 hours total at some points. So we sped things up. And then here you can see right from level 40, 43 to 60, this is our 1 week cycle, our 5-day cycle, which we kept consistent, right? And that's what consistency, in my opinion, this is a great idea. This is a depiction of what it's like to keep a consistent schedule. And there were no hiccups that weren't planned, right? These are all planned. Despite all of the routines, like Hanzahiro had a different thing, right? Its chart, and despite like Boom Pro going up and down and all that, because Boom Pro now is dynamic. Like, we're no longer in the SRS period. Like, we didn't even use the SRS in that sense. So when you're talking about volume, days, cycle, even though all the workloads and all the things are fluctuating, like I have lots and lots of fluctuation in volume. So we already talked about volume quite a lot in the 100-day reviews. So like volume varied day to day, right? This can be at any of the 100-day reviews, 200, right? 300. We have gone over the volume bracket. It looks something like this most of the time, right? That's what it looks like. And then for the 5-day cycle, it's simply this, right? This, and then this. Those are the 2 days. And we did that for basically approximately a year and a half. So 1 year and 6 months. We could round up and just say 1 year and 7 months, right? A year and a half. Hanzahiro was a little bit earlier, but they're both timed and spaced. Coincidentally, maybe like somewhat coincidentally about the same spacing. Yeah. Good chart. Fun times. Now where do we go from here, right? So what is now? Now WaniKani is now going to be a reference material. So what do we do? Level 60 plus. Level 60 plus. WaniKani will become a reference material. Reference material for Boom Pro. So anytime I'm doing like an extra, this is really specifically more so like 80% of Boom Pro's vocabulary, and then 20% to link up with grammar. So at all times, WaniKani is just going to be in the background. So WaniKani is going to be in the background. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue doing all the reviews. So I'm going to keep going. Reviews. Keep up with my reviews. So reviews only until all is burned. So we burn everything, which is going to be sometime in Christmas, right? It's 6 months from the time your first exposure. So if it's almost July right now, it will be around Christmas before the level 60 stuff probably get burned. It's probably going to be January. Now there are going to be follow-ups. So we're going to have follow-up streams. And these are kind of update streams. So basically, I'm just going to let the lessons pile up. There are going to be content update, right? Because WaniKani does do that. Content update, and I'm going to let it build up. We're going to build up the lessons. Either we let the build up of lessons for for 6 months. 6 months time. So in Christmas, we'll probably have a 6-month update. Is this even visible? Did I write off screen? 6-month update. Or the big or is a major feature. A major feature is introduced, which I doubt. This is less than 1% chance, in my opinion. Yeah, we're gonna give it a less than 30% chance that's gonna happen. So if there's a major feature that is released, we'll do both of these together. If not, we'll come back at around the time when I let the lessons build, and it's going to be around this time. 6 months is approximately when the thing is going to be burned. So we'll burn all our reviews, and then I'll talk about it again. We'll give a WaniKani update. Now, for the record, this is going to be a reference material. So it's going to be there for like WaniKani's, all of this stuff that we have here. It's going to be triggered every time. We're going to be practicing and using a lot of these over and over again. So to preserve what the method or whatever it is, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to do it this way. So Boom Pro is where all of the stuff is going to be. And is largely using it as a recalling for vocabulary. Yeah, not much of a celebration, I know. I'm not a very celebratory type of guy, right? When I think of finishing something, I've already started something else. I think that's kind of the nature of me as a person. Typically, when something's quote-unquote reaching a milestone, I have already started something else. My life doesn't slow down. Like, I don't wait to plan the next thing. I learn something and I start. So I typically I stagger things. So my life is more like this. Right? I'm always staggering things. And when anything ends, I still have things going, like going forward. Rarely do I wait for something to finish. This is what happened. This is like the thing I talked about 2 days ago with Mika, where when you make plans and stuff, you're making parallel plans. Oftentimes you want to make contingency plans, things that you are moving forward in case something else fails. Like, contingencies are not dependent on each other. Like, if one thing fails, all the dominoes don't fall. Like, one of the problems, or maybe not really problems, but learning lessons that don't occur very often anymore in the internet generation that I've met. And this is not a reflection on the United States, because I actually interact with Americans far, far less than internationals because of my time slot. The time that I'm streaming is also the time that most Americans are spending their evenings and doing things and whatnot. So most of the students that I meet and universities that I meet are outside the United States. 90% of the people I meet are barely American, right? Like, or aware. We typically talk about the multicultural interaction, right? I'm not a representative of the majority of Americans. I try to be as educational as I can and polite about certain misconceptions about what it's like to grow up in the United States as Asian American, right? However, one of the things that I do find common, regardless if it's India, Netherlands, Dutch, I said Netherlands and Dutch at the same time. Netherlands, Germany, the UK, all of Scandinavia, Australia, Malaysia, Korea, one Japan, the occasional Chinese, but that's a little concerning, Morocco, Russia, Ukraine, lots of Brazil. All of those regions, there's often one commonality. And the commonality is whenever someone tells me what they're planning to do and what they're going to do, it's constantly one way. Like, it's also some of the more elaborate plans are it's still one way, but the contingency plans are based on a single point of failure. So like your first step has to be realized before you have the second step, and then you place a contingency plan. But if the first step doesn't work, then the whole thing falls apart. Now, it is tough when you're younger and inexperienced to think of like alternatives. So the idea is hopefully the internet can provide inspirations for different avenues. And time can be very tight, especially like you can imagine time is tight for a young person who's juggling schoolwork and all that. Unfortunately, if I have to be realistic, that time management, that time constraint doesn't improve as you get older. It actually gets even more strenuous. Like the average person, unless they're incredibly fortuitous in their fortune or something, generally, if you are time constrained now and your plans are falling apart because of particular essential life skills, like school is supposed to give you an idea of what an organized itinerary is or an organized schedule is, and knowing how to manipulate that time, find time to study, play sports, or do your things, your extracurriculars, and then have time for application. If that type of thing is starting to feel overwhelming, hopefully it's encouraging the youth of today to know how to schedule, prioritize, and create early life lessons. I don't see that as a common strength anymore. Like, kids juggle a lot of things. Adults don't necessarily juggle a lot of more things necessarily. However, they have many ongoing things that can't stop anymore. You can't drop many things either. You can't simply just drop your job and not have another job line up. Like, that's what I mean by when a person gets laid off. It is very, very strenuous and tough later down the road. And you can't set up contingency plans for those things if you don't particularly set them up when you were younger. So, like, when you become an adult and you start thinking about, I don't need plan Bs, I don't need to save, I don't need to theorize multiple ways of succeeding, then when you become an adult, you don't get a lot of second chances. You still get chances. I would love to be, it would be awesome if I was that guy who had an unlimited resources and like, hey, let's work together. Let's give many people second chances. But I mean, I don't even have that type of resources to give people second chances, right? Like, you can't support another adult on a whim. You can't simply see a 30-year-old struggling now because they never anticipated that the one career they put all their eggs in one basket and suddenly they get cut, right? And then you can't just say, oh, I'll hire you for that. Adults can't even do that for other adults. So when you're a child, building in my opinion, when you're younger, it's a great time, in my opinion, very opportune moment to practice how to manage your time, prioritize things, and create redundancies in your plans. I think this exercise is a lifelong skill. The older you get, the more and more likely that it is reflected in the adult's consequences. Like when you watch, I don't know, I typically watch a bit of Financial Audit, with, dang it, I forgot his name, Caleb, right? And when you think about financial things, that's a microcosm in itself. When you think of financial investments and how obviously these are cherry picked, right? They're specifically highlighting what could happen, the potential of bad acting, right? Like, what I mean is bad actors, the more exaggerated examples. It can get that bad in various aspects of life, but the whole aspect of life can be still balanced. Like, you can be fairly dysfunctional in the way you pursue scholastics while still being relatively calm and collected in other areas. This is a skill that can pervasively go to anything you put your mind to. Like, language learning wasn't alien to me. Like, how do you study consistently and plan your stream schedules and then have all these other things go on? It was like clockwork to me, personally. I know that's a weird flex. I don't particularly think it's a weird flex because I think in general, healthy, successful people, I like to hope, should all have this potential to do this. It is not something that is special and unique, in my opinion, to some select group of people. Like, I am no more tolerant and diligent than someone who is able to have practice time and experience for this. For now, though, I think the majority of 20-year-olds that I've encountered, roughly around 20, their planning skills and their ability to allocate time comes at such a expense. Like, it is pretty disheartening. Like, even to the point where I think the way they schedule even their health, their hygiene, their sleep hygiene, it derails all their plans. Their plans consistently rely on being ideal. Like, you want your plan to be ideal. I want to do this in 3 months, no less, no more. And I want to do this then in 3 months after that, knowing that the first 3 months go well. That's not, in my opinion, how you plan for life and you plan for long-term projects. Like, hear me out. When you hear mission statements and personal statements of someone who is young and lack experience, they typically write in a manner of speak that is filled with certainty. It's certainty to the point that it is likely going to fail. Not that they are going to fail overall. They will find that their original plan that they go and seek out had many, many bumps along the way that ends up, surprisingly for the successful people, to turn out even better than they originally planned. That is what I mean by it. Where when I see plans, especially those who I met online, when they talk about language learning, like they're gonna learn, I don't know, how to read kanji, like that's their one task. And their plan involves the strictest of idealism. Like, the best they can do is the ideal situation, right? Like level 60, for example, in WaniKani, when someone goes to use WaniKani, their ideal plan is to spend 7 days across the board, because that is the ideal pace. It's the maximum pace, and some of them do manage that. The thing is, their celebration and their vision, despite they speed run through WaniKani, that's incredibly impressive. Like, if they stuck to it and realized the ideal, they still only accomplish that. Like, it's a ceiling. Like, when you set your mind to a goal, you stop observing any additional potential or opportunities. Like, when I started WaniKani, I didn't sit there and say, all right, whatever WaniKani needs to do, that's all I'm going to do. When I'm learning, as I'm learning, as I'm going through this stuff, I thought of other ideas. So then I spawn new projects. The projects then are kept in parallel. So Boom Pro started staggered with WaniKani. Anzahiro started staggered with WaniKani. There are various projects going on while I'm utilizing some of the things as I'm going. You do not stick to trying to constantly limit yourself to an idealism. When you learn, you're going to evolve, and your goal might not end up being the same. Like right now, it's awesome that we got to level 60. And then people ask me, so what I'm gonna do? I'm already doing it. Like when someone asks me, now that you're finished with WaniKani, what are you gonna do in the future? I already started the next thing. It's already been 5 months, 5 to 6 months into 2 or 3 separate projects. I have already prepared the next like 5 or 6 year plans that no one will see until another 5 or 6 years down the road. 2.5 years ago, I started other 5-year plans. YouTube was a 7-year plan from the 7 years of Twitch to before that, the 5 years of grad school that I was looking and observing Justin TV. So those are all the things. They have been staggered, and I was still in grad school. So I was still in grad school doing all of these things while planning other things. Now, you don't have to go super crazy. The idea is I really find it concerning, very concerning, that small tasks, like really small tasks, we're talking about going to the gym for a year, having a New Year's resolution, right? Like you start the new year and it's like, I'm gonna go to the gym for the whole year. And then and I asked them, how are you gonna achieve that? What are you gonna do? And they would talk about, oh, I would do this, then this, and this, and this. And I heard was results lead to results, lead to results, leads to results. And my first thought is, you're not gonna even get to the first result. And then everything else collapses. Like, that's disheartening. It's not my place, obviously. I collect this. I collect stories. I ask people, oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? There are various versions of this. I think the vast majority of the versions are what is going to happen leading to another thing that's going to happen that leads to another thing that's going to happen. That does not explain how you're going to do it, what you're going to do, and how much of a consideration have you made in doing the task. Like, hey, I'm going to Japan in 3 years. That means that I'm gonna pass the N4 in 1 year, and I'm gonna pass the N3 in another 2 years, and then I'm gonna move to Japan. Like, that did not say anything about what you're going to plan, how you're gonna do it, all the particular things that your life experience is gonna have to take into account. Like, what I mean is, it doesn't have to be an incredibly detailed, oriented, completely step-by-step thought out thing. The extent of how well it's thought out is what creates the diligence, the discipline, the vision that keeps someone going. Having lofty results at varying times where you're surprised, like when someone says, oh man, I'm looking back, like for example, this is going to be a weird contrast. I know this is like a little bit self-defeating, but when someone told me like, oh, are you going to finish WaniKani? I'm like, what do you mean finish WaniKani? It's like, well, are you going to do all of level 60? And my first thought is like, why wouldn't I? Like, well, it's a lot of work. It's like, well, like, there's no reason for me to fail. Like, how would I fail something like this, right? So that's what I mean. Like, the comfort of understanding how to plan, recover, do things, it gives a sense of a bit, I don't want to say it's arrogance. It can seem like arrogance to other people. Like someone would accuse me of saying like, why are you so sure you were going to get to level 60 in the time roughly within the 10% margin of error of when you're going to do? I'm not confident I can predict the future. That is different. That's an arrogance. Prideful arrogance in predicting the future. I am confident that I'll make it work. So like, I know it might not, I can't tell you if I'm going to be level 60. I'm going to say I'm going to make it work, and somehow I will feel that I can get to level 60. Like I will get to 60, but it might not be the way that I planned originally. So that comfort and that confidence is not coming from the idea that I can predict what's going to happen in the future. Like saying it sounds the same when someone asks me, am I going to get to level 60? I say, well, yes, I'm going to get to level 60. But what they're thinking is, oh, I'm going to get to level 60 the way they think the only way someone can get to level 60. No, not really. This could have turned out very differently. Like, I could have had a bunch of spikes because of life circumstances. People could have died during this period. It's a year and a half. I'm quite old, so I know old people. Bad things can happen, right? So, or even good things can happen and it takes me away from it, right? The idea is that the confidence, in my opinion, and the security, even social anxiety, like for example, having conversations, communication. Whenever someone says, oh yeah, aren't you really nervous that your Japanese is going to be horrible? I'm so nervous that I'm going to screw up and say the wrong thing in Japanese. Like, no. Like, for me personally, no, not even a chance. Because it is through that process that is required for me to improve how to speak in Japanese and apply my learning. If someone antagonizes me because of that, then my process filter is I don't talk to that person anymore. Like, I properly excuse myself until I'm ready to communicate with that person. So the idea is you still have to go through interacting with someone, many people over, and defining where you sit. Like, the fear of predicting the future is arrogance and pride, right? Like, to overcome that fear that you can predict the future, that requires arrogance and pride. Humility and sobering conjecture and consideration can provide security, because you understand that, which I talked about today with Procall for quite some time during Boom Pro, perseverance, problem solving, critical thinking. Those are the things that create security in getting results in many different ways. So when someone asks me, am I going to do all of WaniKani? My thought is, I'm not even, by the time to predict myself from day one, my thought was, you probably didn't even hear me say anything about, oh, hey, we're 15 levels away from finishing, or like, man, at the pace we're going. It's more, what am I going to do? And I'm going to continue doing it. And by the time I get to this very point, I would have already looked far beyond WaniKani. Like, even if I didn't get to level 60, I'm already past WaniKani level 60. Like, the idea is, yes, this represents a way you can measure yourself. The confidence and security that you get is because you have so much going on. You have control over a lot of things that are going on, and you can reach whatever this target that you have. And it's a moving target, by the way. It's a consistent moving target. So I want to say all of this before I end for today, because I won't be talking about WaniKani in streaming sense. It will be in the background. Boom Pro, you're gonna hear me say, okay, let's go cross-reference with WaniKani. I wonder what the mnemonic I use for WaniKani. Maybe I can. So I'll be editing WaniKani. I'm not sure if I want to display change up the way it's displayed. Maybe have two halves. That might be something. I think that can be a little bit too cumbersome. Like, there's too much stuff going on the screen, and oftentimes people can get incredibly overwhelmed. I'm already pretty overwhelmed. Like, for myself, I'm already pretty overwhelming when I start doodling on the screen and I'm drawing arrows everywhere. So I don't want to necessarily consider that yet. Maybe in a very refined, scripted way in the future. So for now, WaniKani is going to be in the background. It's going to be a reference material, and I'm using it as a thought process every time, because what I learned, I don't want to discard. I'm not beyond my foundations. WaniKani is part of my foundations, right? This is a disclaimer for why I'm not a very celebratory person too often. I understand that other people, like I'm not telling you to not be celebratory. I really do appreciate whenever someone says, "Oh yeah, good job," like words of encouragement. And it can be a little dismissive at times because I have a lot of encouragement. Like what I mean is I myself am a perpetual encouragement machine because I am quite confident that I will persevere. I am confident in myself that I'll make things work to the satisfaction of my ego and my whatever it is to keep myself satisfied. The goal of all of this like digression and talking and demonstrating all of this, is that you can too. Whoever I may be talking to in the future, I want to demonstrate with a smile each and every day. I mean, obviously I'm not smiling all the time. Like sometimes I screw up and my like emotions could like go up and down. The idea is all of that is part of it. And I feel like there's so much desensitizing or numbing. I don't know how to phrase this at the moment because of the hustle culture of the online, that plans are made in a way that they're so efficient, right? So efficient to the point that, in my opinion, the dramatic irony that I experience when someone tells me their plan is that I don't know what they're going to do when they hit their first bump. Like, it's an immaculate plan. It's so ambitious. It's so great. It's also incredibly one-sided and linear. So that means what does that mean to me? It lacks problem-solving skills or critical thinking skills. And one thing that is reflected in all of this is whenever they debate with me or they discuss and counter-argue me, right? Like they try to present an argument and the argument is on one track. And all you have to do is put something in front of that track and they no longer am able to defend themselves or reinforce themselves, and it would get personal. They would get incredibly emotional, and that is something that I try to avoid. But at the same time, how can I demonstrate something indirect that you don't always have to be right to always win? Like what I mean is feel like you're satisfied in the interaction. Like I am perfectly fine with losing a argument and a discussion because that's an opportunity to learn. It's very different from someone who has a singular mentality and idealism as a form of planning and critical thinking skills, especially in the form of communication and learning, where when they inherently talk, there's only one way or the highway, or there is very low tolerance in having the time of day to enrich one's own perspective, right? This produces a lot of overlap. Staggered thoughts, staggered planning. It produces overlaps, redundancy, which is not efficient, right? In the name of the internet game, it is not efficient to create redundancy. It is safer to create redundancy. It is a separate skill as well, because when you're going around and you're saying, oh, well, why waste time on doing this two different ways? What if one way screwed up? Like, well, I won't screw up. Arrogance and pride. And when you screw up, accountability gets deflected by blaming whatever it is that is not within your control. I think that is the most common narrative that I have. When someone says, oh, I asked them, why did they quit language learning? Oh, there was X, Y, and Z. It's outside my control. Like, oh, you know, I just got really bored. And I'm like, so you can't control your boredom? Like, yeah, I have this like problem that I don't know how to solve, and it just comes and goes. I'm like, so are you interested in understanding the nature of your problem before you go and try to learn Japanese again? It's like, no, I'll just figure it out again later and try again later. That's kind of how I feel when you have someone who's linear, who's vibing, who constantly thinks that there's no control, no essence of control, and no really motivation to do so because it's inefficient to spend that time. That's at least my way of trying to put myself in their shoes. It is efficient to create any form or sense of redundancy. Redundancy is for QCing. Redundancy is for critical thinking. Redundancy is for problem solving. You understand the nature of redundancy, the trade-offs, compromises of placing in some redundancy, stagger states, and like complementary and supplementary methods as a form of protection, right? Diversification. Try thinking about it this way. This is a very topical one where someone believes that investing in Pokemon cards will net them a return. And then everything went into Pokemon cards. Like, well, did you diversify? You could buy One Piece cards if you want. That's kind of a diversification of your one method, right? So, investment, I typically use investment strategies as a way to talk. I'm not an investment, like this is not investment advice. And I'm not an investor. I can apply my understanding of how to ensure like redundancies and points of failures by reducing it to a level like the risk, right? Cost risk management, and time is a resource that you manage. So there's costs and risks and return on your time invested. So most of this stuff, while the jargon may have changed between like business investments to sponsorships to content creation, life lessons do not change, in my opinion. The fundamentals of putting all your eggs in one basket and expecting everything to work out, that is prideful and arrogant. And if it works, I'm there to celebrate with you. Like, I am absolutely 100% wish that this is the reality. When someone has a one-track mind, and all those one-track minds will be successful in their one-track swing for the fences thing. Man, humanity would be really interesting if nearly all of the long-winded Hail Mary passes succeed. Unfortunately, in my almost 40 years of life soon, I feel like I spend 90% of the time not entertaining Hail Mary passes. The internet, when you're looking at the best examples of everything, it might seem like everyone and their mother succeeded in a Hail Mary pass with your Cinderella story, and you are like glossed over rags to riches, instant overnight sensation, and viral things could be the essence of your reality. I would think that when you step back, the consequences of the people you see around you and seeking other examples, there's a far larger pool of people who are successful, but they don't swing for the fences. They swing for the fences on various things. Overall, though, they're not swinging for the fences every single time they can. It's in fact often taking a risk and mitigating it with redundancy, divesting when something goes well. So when I got WaniKani up and going, it's going well. I divest into something else. You keep the ball rolling, and those balls don't like roll on the same track, basically. When suddenly like WaniKani gets stuffed, I don't magically quit on Boom Pro or Hanzahiro, right? Like, this is what happens, in my opinion, when I talk to people who are burning out from negativity. When they can't do WaniKani, then they can't do, I don't know, Bushu, which then they can't enjoy manga. So everything collapses in their day. They don't have independent and dependent variables arranged in a manner that doesn't derail their entire day. So it's kind of like one of those people who, if they start the day off poorly, there's no chance for the rest of the day to go well, or anything in the day to go well. If I wake up one day and I'm really congested, there are many things that I do that the congestion may not affect. Right? Sure, my running might go really terrible, but I don't run for the whole day. Even on the day schedule. Now we're talking about weeks and months and almost multiple years. So we're more in the area of months. So things can, you could see like it's kind of noisy. This is probably the longest project that I have recorded for YouTube. And some people have asked me, oh yeah, you should like do a summary article about a summary recording about, oh, what does it feel like to get to level 60 and summarize and post it on the forum. I'll try to do that in the future. For the record though, I'm taking a bottom-up approach. Basically, did the thing end? Sorry, the brown noise just fell out. I'm like, oh, okay. So my thought is that I can always simplify, sort of. I can always compress information. So we're doing top down. It's going to be 5 to 7 years in the making, but at least now I have done something in the 1.5 year range. Now there are a couple other things that are going, and it has been going for 2.5 years, and then there are a few other things that have gone for 7 years. So these things will come to fruition at some point. I'm basically looking for particular avenues of scaling without necessarily introducing more and more uncontrolled variables. And that is related to my comment about plans. Oftentimes, not only are the plans serialized, as in one has to work before all the other ones have to work, there's also the idea of planning those different steps. The planning of the different steps often has an imbalance. Oftentimes, when I see a person's plan, it deals with luck, uncontrollable variables. Like, for example, you might not think of this as a control variable, but one of the results is to ace the N4 by 6 months. Technically, you could argue, well, you do have control over how well you do on exam. Yes, by how well you study. You can't predict if you're going to pass or fail the exam. That is a different perspective. Like what score you're going on the exam, it is related to what you're doing. So you focus on what you're going to do to improve the chances of the score. Not whether you get an A or B or C or something like that, or not pass or pass, right? The goal can be set very loosely that you're going to pass. Leave room for doing better than you expect and worse than you expect. And then that would be the average you're looking for. Not think about the ideal case and then that's the only thing that's acceptable. Ace the N4. Like, well, if you're looking at the most ideal top case, then it's gonna, in the end, it's likely to be dissatisfying and a disappointment any other case other than the ideal case. That's like a young teenager, myself included, when I was younger, the only way to feel satisfied like you did something is get a 4.0 or a 100%. In fact, it got to a point where you're supposed to get more than odds of getting 101% in a weighted score versus anything below is terrifying. I use the word terrifying is how I describe when I talk to younger people today. Whenever they say they're going to do something, they're going to start something, and it's important to them, terror, fear, anxiety, what ifs, worst case scenarios, even little bumpy scenarios sound like worst case scenarios to them. For myself, that tells me they're aiming for idealism, and pretty much everything else is a wash. And you take that into adulthood, and that is going to likely rock and wreck their self-esteem and even their ability to interact with other people. Like, I can't even begin to express how tough it's going to be to communicate with another human being, like, or to form a relationship with someone, to build a career on things you don't actually control most of the time, right now the fear is they don't have control over the things that seemingly do have a lot of control over, like scoring better by studying something. In the future is like, how do you satisfy your customers? Well, that's going to be tough. I mean, a megalomaniac who believes, who never struggled in their teens, who everything worked out really well, I guess their first attempt would be to manipulate and control their customers so that they are never wrong. I mean, there are kind of some topical examples of megalomania, so perhaps I'm not, like, I don't prescribe to that, so I don't like living the world as ideals. I think the very nature of being human and the human condition is that you are adaptive. You are, you persevere. You're a consistent problem solver. You don't solve problems and expect them to stop and go away. You solve problems and it leads to more problems that you can solve. And the idea is that's how you become stronger, faster, better, or experienced, or more confident. You're constantly solving problems, constantly dealing with critical thinking skills. And that, to me, when someone can see that in me, for example, then we resonate. Over these last 2.5 years, it has not been my experience. Most people think that my confidence comes from being able to predict the future. Like, I'm so confident what the future is going to look like. That is arrogant and prideful. That is a projection of the person who's accusing me of being arrogant. Like, I still remember the first 2 weeks of Duolingo 2.5 years ago when this arrogant person came up and started educating me in something that I haven't learned yet, right? And my first thought was like, oh, well, thank you. I'm working on that now. I guess I'll know it in the future. It's like, oh, I heard this before. I haven't gotten to it yet. And this person immediately said like, dude, whoa, I'm just trying to help you. Stop acting like you know everything. I'm like, it's not that I'm going to know everything. It's that I'm eventually going to learn it. You don't have to rush me along. Like, no one asked you to rush me along. Doing someone a favor and patting yourself on the back before they accept your assistance, that's arrogance and prideful. The only person who's getting defensive in that situation is someone whose pride is hurt. Like an arrogant and prideful expert walking in the room and no one notices them and they get angry about it. That is a tenuous, weak veil of security. And there are quite many people who do feel that. Like, I still feel it too. Although I would say it's more of an imposter syndrome than anything else. I walk into a room anticipating that I'd be questioned and I'd be challenged. And in a way, it's kind of the thing that I've become so accustomed to. Like, overestimating people. I prefer to overestimate people so I can learn from the disappointment than underestimating someone. I said this multiple times. It sounds like a backwards way. It's like, well, then aren't you disappointed most of the time? Yeah, I am. And I learned how to work with it. Like, I want to see how far I can expect people. So then I have every motivation to try to contribute to it. If you underestimate people, then you're constantly dependent on the other people to step up. So I'm not there to sit there and feel like I can't contribute to something. And then I'm also not there to try to talk down to people, right? Like, I don't walk in a room thinking I'm better than everyone else. I walk in a room thinking everyone's better than me, but we want to see how far that goes. And then if they are indeed, in fact, way skilled than me, it's a great opportunity to learn something from them. If they are in fact under me, like in certain ways, collaboration. It's an opportunity for me to show something, not intervene in their whatever decision is, because I'm not confident that I would be able to elevate their game. We would have to create rapport to establish a willingness to collaborate. That's kind of how I go about things. When I'm talking to someone who clearly indicate that we are colleagues, obviously you can argue, well, it's not appropriate when the person's younger than you and a student and clearly a beginner and stuff. Like, yeah, that's fair. You still have to talk to them and know where they are, instead of pridefully and arrogantly assuming what they want. You can use your judgments and your experience to predict and then confirm and test whether you are accurate or not. Not presume and discriminate and prejudicially use your thing in the guise of some altruistic excuse. Like, hey, I'm just only helping you. I studied for Japanese for 3 years. You just started. Take my gift. And I'm like, people can reject gifts. Like, whoa, sorry, I'm gonna humbly decline your gift. If that's so, if that is okay. And if the person gets emotional, it's like, well, you can kind of see it as a win-win situation in most cases, because entering an abusive contract with someone, entering or cultivating an abusive relationship, probably a win-win to not have that occur in the first place, right? So keep that in mind, bear in mind. Anyways, I thought I splurge a little bit on some reflections, some deeper cuts that has happened across maybe like the last 2.5 years, but specifically across the last 1.5 years. I've met a lot of people during WaniKani, far more invested people, which is expected of the archetype or the audience that WaniKani is in. Duolingo was a bigger mixed bag because obviously most people have cursory understanding of communication, and the way Duolingo fosters as a beginning step, it has a different feel to it. Now, there is a chance I don't know when that's going to happen, but we still have to complete our Duolingo projects because they have been updated. I said this before, like most things, I keep up to date if things are updated. Duolingo has been updated since the 1.5 years of WaniKani. And on multiple occasions, I talked about their updates and then talk about when I'm going to plan on that. I update my stuff. I said this before, I don't want to be that person who relies on some sort of hearsay and iterating on dogmatic beliefs when it may not be true anymore. Like someone who gave me an article about something and it was like 4 years out of date. Or like they link, oh, this expert said this and it was like 6 years out of date. That's not me. Like, personally, I try my best. Obviously, I can't update everything at every time. I'm not omniscient. However, I would welcome anyone to remind me or share with me that, hey, things have changed. Things have been updated. because learning process, critical thinking, is a adaptive, constantly high maintenance, consistent requirement of maintenance to use. You can't simply stay complacent. When you stay complacent, well, you learn less. If you stay complacent, well, you will fall behind in the way you solve problems. Like, how do you help Gen Z overcome the hustle culture and the fear of disappointment? If you are a millennial or a boomer and you still think most of that is trivial and that millennials, like boomers, learn that through life experience, that is a rude awakening in complacency. Because that's not the environment, in my opinion, that Gen Z thrives in anymore. So you have to adapt to it. Learning, education, scholar, those things, it's ever changing. You can choose to feel happy. Like, I'm not saying this is the key to happiness. In fact, I would argue keeping up to date is more of a discipline thing, and it's neither happy nor sad most of the time. It's a busy work. It's a work that you want to stay relevant. If you're old and you have closure and you're comfortable with your complacency and your bubbles, that's great. Being happy and having closure and feeling like you can cruise the rest of your life, that's great. I typically don't want to cruise. I honestly feel like I can continue doing most of what I'm doing now, which is, I'm not talking about content creation and whatnot. I'm talking about learning things, critically analyzing things, evolving, looking at the times, keeping in touch with all the generations, and fostering new relationships. That I can do for a lifetime. I want to be hip, with lack of a better word. I like being in touch with humanity, like the people around me and the cultures that I get exposed to. So, don't be shy, I suppose. With that said, if you're gonna watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. As always, feel free to follow along. Well, in this case, probably not WaniKani, but I will come back in another 6 months or so to update on WaniKani. You can pick up WaniKani for yourself, right? Come on by, yap. Let me know what you think. Exchange ideas, discuss, keep each other motivated. Curious. Word is curious. And until next time, 皆さんまたね。見てくれてありがとう. Thanks for watching, and I'll see some of you in the next project. Bye.